There was actually a headline, I think, in one of the Charlotte newspapers the next day that said, Republican victories bode ill for the GOP. I was still... Anybody say, Mark, did you see that one? I was like, okay. I don't know. I'm not tired of winning yet. Any of you tired of winning yet? I'm telling you, it's just incredible.
This is Mike Pence at the House Republican Conference Retreat, and if it seemed lately like he's leaning into the Trumpism of his politics, that's probably because he is. And it's not just him adopting Trump's tired phrases about winning. He took to Twitter only days ago to quote tweet Trump, who was, per usual, railing against the press. Pence wrote, "That's absolutely right, Mr. President. More fake news. The dishonest media never contacted our office before running with this story, and if they had, we would have told them I fully support your decision." And either one of two things happened here. Either Trump himself wrote this, in that it even has his signature arbitrary capitalizations because the President of the United States does not know which words are capitalized and which aren't, or Pence has so completely subjugated himself to Trump that he's just shamelessly parroting his exact words and behaviors like a teenage girl in middle school. And look, none of this is to say that it isn't pathetic when Trump spouts these corny, outdated hack jokes and platitudes on a daily basis, but to watch another full-grown man do it is another level of pathetic. And the whole basis for Pence's statement here is that it was so laughably ridiculous that a headline claiming that Democrats losing North Carolina's 9th congressional district on Tuesday by less than 3 points means Republicans are in trouble. I mean, the guy thought it was so funny he nearly fell over the podium. Although in his defense, when your life is spent trying to implement conversion therapy for your state's LGBT citizens, then I guess there's not a lot of humor happening. But despite Pence's incredulousness, for a deep red district that's been in Republican control since the early 1960s, that Trump himself won by 12 points only a few years ago, to swing nearly 10 points to the left in one cycle is objectively a really, really bad sign. For context, if we swung every district that Trump took in 2016 10 points to the left, Democrats would gain just south of 50 seats in the House. And I know we're in the Betsy DeVos era of education in this country, but to clarify, that is not a good thing for Republicans. Consider too that the race for North Carolina's 9th district cost a staggering $20 million on just TV ads alone, making this race the second most expensive one in House history. But it was Republicans who were forced to dish out the most, spending over $6.7 million to Democrats' $3.6 million. If the GOP is going to have to double the spending of Democrats in districts that they'd previously won by double digits just to protect their incumbents, they're going to find themselves in a massive financial problem heading into 2020. And look, I do have to admit that part of the reason Republicans found themselves in so much trouble in 2018, when they lost 40 seats in an election that Democrats won by the biggest margin in US history, was that they largely campaigned on repealing Obamacare, which was a fatal misstep and showed at the polls. So at least heading into 2020, they'll know that and won't possibly run on that again. Oh, okay, all right, well, never mind. With that said, there could certainly be other forces at play with Pence, such as the rumor that Nikki Haley might replace him on the ticket in 2020. And ironically, this wasn't even a rumor until Haley took to Twitter to dispel the rumor, tweeting, "Enough of the false rumors. Vice President Pence has been a dear friend of mine for years. He has been a loyal and trustworthy VP to the president. He has my complete support." And so now, per usual, in this administration's bumbling efforts to do damage control, they've actually caused themselves more harm than good. So while the Republican Party has made pretending that the facts right in front of their faces don't exist a cornerstone of their strategy, from climate change to gun violence to voter suppression to Russian interference to Trump's own slew of crimes, that doesn't change the fact that yes, a Democrat losing by a couple of points in a Republican plus 12 district does bode ill for the GOP. So Pence can continue laughing it off, but if this plays out across the rest of the country, then he's likely to change his tune on election night next year.